Good afternoon and welcome to this week's introductory class from the Tibetan Buddhist Society. Welcome back. Hope you're having good conditions. Hope you're coping well and enjoying life. We'll begin with a few minutes of just breathing meditation to settle the mind and to be present where we are. So just relax. Make yourself comfortable in your chair or on your cushion, keeping your back, your spine straight and your head tilted gently forward, chin slightly tucked in. Eyes either closed or slightly open, looking down at the floor. Let your arms relax down your sides with your hands in front on your lap, right hand over the left. So just spend a few minutes just breathing, settling the mind, settling the body, being present, and develop a motivation, an intention of love and compassion to set this session in motion. So to not just to be floating aimlessly or whatever in breathing, but to be doing this thinking pure good motivation to benefit others. So just allow the breath to enter and exit. If you can, breathing through your nose. Otherwise, no problem. Through the mouth is fine. Just let the breath rise and fall, the coming and going of the breathing. If you wish, you can focus on the tip of the nose, watching the air, feeling the air entering and leaving as you breathe in and breathe out in your own time. Just let all your thoughts settle. Let your breathing settle and your mind settle with it. No rush. At your own pace, in your own time, just breathing. Just enjoy the sensation of breathing. Allow the thoughts to settle. Let them go. Just breathe. Just keep breathing and relax. Just relax the mind. Take this opportunity to just focus on the breath. It's a rare opportunity to enjoy nothing but the sensation of breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. So now we'll just recap on last week's subject from Geshe Acharya Thubten Loden's Essence of the Path to Enlightenment text. We looked at samsara and nirvana. Samsara being the cyclic existence that we experience, going from life to life, rebirth after rebirth. propelled by karma and delusion. Samsara is suffering. And we looked at nirvana, the cessation of suffering. And noted that neither samsara nor nirvana are actual places. Planet Earth is not samsara. Heaven is not nirvana. Samsara and nirvana are just a state of mind. And nirvana is the cessation of suffering for oneself. So this week we are looking at the wonderful chapter on bodhicitta on page 101 if you have Geshe-la's Essence of the Path to Enlightenment text, Bodhicitta publication. Bodhicitta is awesome. Geshe here explains bodhicitta can be defined as a primary mind wishing to attain enlightenment for the benefit of others. So this is not nirvana for oneself, cessation of suffering for oneself. This is big picture, big scope. And bodhicitta is comprised of two aspirations: the aspiration for oneself to attain enlightenment, and the aspiration to lead all other living beings to the cessation of suffering. And that means all living beings, not just humans, but all countless, numberless, sentient beings. A very big, open heart. Maitreya, in his Ornament for Clear Realization, states, bodhicitta means for the sake of others wishing to attain complete, perfect enlightenment. That's the definition of bodhicitta. For the sake of others wishing to attain complete, perfect enlightenment. Bodhicitta is the attitude of great compassion, wishing to remove the suffering of all others, and the recognition that to be of greatest benefit, it is ideal to attain enlightenment. So it's those two, comprising those two qualities: for the sake of others and wishing to attain complete, perfect enlightenment. And Geshe would often say the most important part is for the sake of others, benefiting others. So even if in this life, in the short term, and next life, we don't attain enlightenment, that all our actions of body, speech and mind, we should attempt, we should try to make them for the sake of others, to free them from their suffering, and for them eventually to attain enlightenment. Bodhicitta is the beginning of the Mahayana, the great vehicle, great scope. So bodhicitta is between renunciation and wisdom. So renunciation, we renounce suffering. And with bodhicitta, we follow the path to enlightenment. And with wisdom, we cut through the delusions and see the conventional nature of reality and the ultimate nature of reality. So Geshe explains that a Mahayanist engages in all practices with bodhicitta motivation. For example, in generosity, just in giving anything, think, due to this practice of generosity, may I quickly attain enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. So any action of giving, generosity, thinking of wishing to attain complete perfect enlightenment for others. Big picture, big scope, expanding the mind from our own state of suffering to realize that all beings are suffering. And by renouncing that suffering, karma and delusion, and wishing and engaging in bodhicitta for the sake of others, we will attain enlightenment, and we can lead all sentient beings to enlightenment. So in this today's session, we'll look at the 10 benefits of bodhicitta. There are actually limitless benefits of bodhicitta, but there are 10 main benefits. So we'll look at those step by step. I'll just list them off first, and then we'll have a look through Geshe's text. So the first is that you enter the gateway of the Mahayana. So it's like the door to the Mahayana, the great scope, or the great vehicle. The second is that you become a child of the Buddhas. You join the lineage of the Buddhas. The third is that you surpass the hearers and solitary realizers. So those monks and nuns, lay men, lay women, yogis and yoginis who have attained nirvana liberation, but because you have strong bodhicitta motivation, it surpasses that of individual liberation. The fourth is that you become the object of offering and prostration from gods and humans. The fifth benefit is vast amounts of merit. Good positive energy are accumulated instantly, very quickly. The sixth benefit, negativities are instantly purified. Number 7, all your wishes are fulfilled. The 8th benefit, you're immune from the harm of hindrances. The ninth benefit, you will quickly accomplish all the grounds and paths. And the 10th benefit is you will become a source of peace and happiness for all living beings. So let's have a look at those wonderful 10 qualities. So firstly, you enter the only gateway of the Mahayana. So the practice only becomes Mahayana if it is motivated by bodhicitta. Without bodhicitta, even if you were to realize ultimate and conventional truths and attain nirvana liberation, your practice would not be Mahayana. In his engaging in the Bodhisattva deeds, the great scholar and peerless master Bodhisattva Shantideva explains, having contemplated intensely for many eons, the Buddhas have seen it to be beneficial because it enables limitless masses of beings to instantly attain the supreme taste of bliss, bodhicitta. The second quality, you become child of the Buddhas. At the instant you generate bodhicitta, you become a bodhisattva and join the lineage of Buddhas. Like a prince or a princess, you become heir to the throne of enlightenment. When you first develop bodhicitta, all the Buddhas are as happy as an emperor who has just seen the birth of an heir. Unbelievable. Benefit. You surpass the hearers and solitary realizers. So Geshe explains that although a new bodhisattva does not have the wisdom and powerful attainments of the great foe destroyers and solitary realizers, those who have attained nirvana, you nonetheless outshine them simply because of your bodhicitta motivation. So the merit of your bodhicitta eclipses all the attainments of nirvana, individual liberation. So this bodhicitta is amazing. The fourth benefit, you become the object of offering and prostration for both gods and humans. Buddhas arise from bodhisattvas. So all Buddhas have been bodhisattvas prior to their enlightenment. All Buddhas of the past, the present, and the future arise from bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas are therefore a great object of respect. Because of the great scope of your motivation to benefit all living beings without exception by attaining enlightenment, a bodhisattva is the greatest of holy beings and is paid respect by both gods and humans. The fifth quality, fifth benefit, vast amounts of merit are accumulated instantly. So bodhicitta enables you to accumulate huge amounts of merit instantly, easily, and continuously. Geshe explains that offering one stick of incense with bodhicitta creates the same amount of merit as if you offered a stick of incense to each living being. Because bodhicitta is encompassing all living beings. So every time you generate the mind of enlightenment, the aspiration of bodhicitta, thinking of all sentient beings, any action of body, speech, or mind conjoined with bodhicitta accumulates that much merit to be engaging with all limitless, numberless, countless sentient beings. Vast. And Geshe explains that reciting a mantra just once with bodhicitta has equivalent benefit to reciting it as many times as there are living beings. So contemplate that. Just one mantra, one act of generosity, bodhicitta motivation, encompasses all countless, numberless sentient beings. Huge, unbelievable. So the sixth benefit, let's just look at some wonderful verses here first. From Shantideva once again. Shantideva explains once again in his engaging in the Bodhisattva deeds that once, having generated the motivation of bodhicitta, all one's actions accumulate merit. Every action of body, speech, and mind. So Shantideva states, from that time forth, whether asleep or unconcerned, a force of merit vast and unceasing, equal to the sky, will be produced. So again, from that time forth, whether asleep or unconcerned, a force of merit, vast and unceasing, equal to the sky, will be produced. Just think of that. Of all the practices for averting hindrances, bodhicitta is the most powerful. And that bodhisattvas can even stop cyclones and natural disasters by the power of their love, compassion, and bodhicitta. So if we all became bodhicittas, bodhisattvas, we could stop cyclones, natural disasters, overcome these hindrances. Climate change is due to our karma and our delusions. And bodhicitta is the most powerful opponent. The ninth quality, the ninth benefit, you will quickly accomplish all the grounds and paths. So as bodhicitta, you quickly progress through the 5 paths of the Mahayana and the 10 bodhisattva grounds. So we won't go through those. This is still an introductory course to keep it light. You can accomplish this and attain enlightenment during this very life by practicing Vajrayana with bodhicitta. Without bodhicitta, you will not even reach the first level of the first of the 5 paths. And the 10th benefit, you become the source of peace and happiness for all living beings. So whatever happiness you experience personally or create for others comes from virtuous minds. The knowledge of virtue and how to cultivate comes directly or indirectly from the teachings of Buddhas. The attainment of Buddhahood is the result of practicing the path of Bodhisattva. And the Bodhisattva path depends on bodhicitta. So in this way, we can say that the source of all goodness, all happiness and peace for all living beings is bodhicitta. When you become a bodhisattva by practicing bodhicitta, you become a source of immeasurable benefit to all living beings. The peerless master and great scholar Bodhisattva Chandrakirti, in his Engaging in Middle Way, states, hearers and solitary realizers are born from Buddhas. Buddhas are born from bodhisattvas. The compassionate mind, non-dual understanding, and bodhicitta are the causes of bodhisattvas. So contemplate that. Hearers and solitary realizers, so those who have attained nirvana liberation, individual liberation, are born from Buddhas, from the Buddha's teachings, from the Dharma. Buddhas are born from bodhisattvas, and that the compassionate mind with non-dual understanding and bodhicitta are the causes of bodhisattvas. So Geshe explains, clarifies that by reflecting on these 10 benefits of bodhicitta, you will gain inspiration to develop this most precious mind within your own continuum. So bodhicitta is not something that comes from outside. We have to purchase online or pay a fortune for. It is our own inner mind, generated thinking for the sake of others, wishing to attain complete, perfect enlightenment. So now we can, we'll do some meditation. There are two main methods of the 7 cause and effect method. So 7 points there. And there's the equalizing and exchanging oneself with others. So we'll do the meditation on the 7 cause and effect method. So initially prior to engaging in the 7, we generate equanimity. So just think, imagine, as you struggle the planet, all living beings are struggling and suffering in some way. So the bodhicitta motivation is wishing to attain complete, perfect enlightenment for the sake of all these beings and to free them from their suffering. So we develop equanimity. If you wish, you can meditate, visualize yourself, and around you are your friends, enemies and strangers, those who you don't know. Be our mother. And just think that in this life, your mother has raised you, looked after you in the womb, looked after you when you were a baby, created whatever good conditions were possible for your happiness. So expand your mind to encompass all living beings. So if we have a mother in this life, we had to have a mother in a previous life, and all previous lives. And our lives are beginningless. So every living being, imagine all of them having been very dear, very kind to us. So in whatever form, whatever realm we were born, all living beings have at one time been our mother. So now, the second point, remember a kindness. So if you reflect on this life's, the mother of this life, her love and compassion, expand your mind, expand your feeling to include, to embrace all being. So Geshe explains, reflect on some of the following aspects of your mother's kindness. So right from the beginning, during the 9.5 months, 10 months, your mother's womb, she cared for you and endeavored to protect you from harm. She gave up her own comfort to look after you. She may have given up her favourite sport so that you would not be injured. Gave up her job to give birth and nurse you, raise you. So just reflect on the kindness of your mother of this life. Think all living beings been my mother, been very dear to me, and I have been very dear to them. Geshe explains that when you were born, you were totally helpless and unable to sustain your own life. Without your mother to feed and protect you, you would very soon have died. And that every few hours she fed you, giving up her sleep to feed and nurse you through the night. Then she washed you, cleaned up your mess, changed your clothes, put you into bed, lifted you out of bed, tended to your sickness, and responded to cries. And as you grew up, paid for your food, cooked, washed your clothes, cleaned your room, so we remember that kindness. So in every life, all our numberless, beginningless lives being cared for by a mother. And remembering the kindness of mother beings, we're remembering the kindness of every living being. Because every living being has been our mother. So once again, Shantideva, from his engaging in the Bodhisattva deeds, Sentient beings and Buddhas are equal in giving rise to the quality of a Buddha. So in this way that we venerate Buddhas, why not also sentient beings? So we are generating bodhicitta. So the next step, moving on from perceiving all beings as mother and remembering her kindness, is to repay the kindness of all limitless, countless, numberless, mother sentient beings. So, repaying the kindness. So recognizing that all beings have been our mother, it's only the lifetimes that vary. So all our previous mothers from previous lives are now suffering. All beings are suffering. So it is our opportunity and our responsibility to give something back in return. So that when we have the attitude of wishing to repay the kindness of all mother sentient beings, then we naturally have the correct approach to repaying that kindness. So, reflecting. Neglecting one's mother in this life, in suffering, in her suffering, would be morally wrong. So, meditate, thinking, just as she has shown great kindness, great love, then all other sentient beings have also done this. To have a strong sense of love and compassion and the wish to repay all beings for their unbelievable kindness. So it's only the lifetimes that have changed. We've forgotten all our previous lives. But in remembering the kindness of other sentient beings, we generate the intention to repay that kindness. So firstly, we focus on great love, the fourth of the seven. And love is the wish for others to have happiness. So in the four immeasurables, may all sentient beings have happiness and all the causes of happiness. Great love. So great love, Geshe explains, transcends ordinary love because it is, of course, directed towards all limitless sentient beings. All sentient beings without any discrimination. Just wishing for all sentient beings to have happiness and all the causes of happiness. So Geshe explains, just to aspiration for developing great love, the realization of great love, it's useful to reflect on the benefits of this realization. The Buddha praised loving kindness and said that concentrating on great love for just a second creates more merit than making offerings to 1,000 Buddhas. Because great love encompasses all sentient beings. So from great love, we move to great compassion. So the thought, may all other sentient beings be free from suffering and all the causes of suffering. So imagine that, like meditate on these. Great love, wishing all beings to have happiness. Great compassion, wishing all beings to be free from suffering. So these are the steps to the attainment, the realization of the mind of bodhicitta. So great compassion, we think that all sentient beings, not just the humans, we're not just focusing on human realm, thinking all sentient beings, so all the animals, all beings who are suffering in whatever form, whatever way, wishing for them to have happiness and to be free from suffering. So whatever suffering any being is experiencing, mental, emotional, physical, generating a strong desire, strong wish that all beings, completely free from all suffering and all causes of suffering. So Geshe explains that great compassion is needed in the beginning, so initially, in order to relieve the suffering of sentient beings. So focusing on suffering. And then, so this is like the seed of enlightenment. So this is renunciation, renouncing suffering. So renouncing one's own suffering and generating the wish for all beings to be free from suffering. And then in the middle, compassion motivates us to help living beings through the practice of the 6 perfections. So we can have a look at those shortly. And in the end, it is compassion of Buddhas that empowers them to help the suffering living beings continuously. So the Buddhas teaching the Dharma, showing us the way out of suffering. So the next step is the pure superior intention. So the pure superior intention, Geshe explains, this is the superlative thought, determined to take responsibility to actually and actively liberate living beings. So strongly making the determination, I shall do this. I shall attain complete perfect enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. So this follows on great love and great compassion. So that through my wish, my actions, my intention of great love and great compassion, I will attain complete perfect enlightenment and lead all beings to that enlightenment. And the seventh point, bodhicitta. So bodhicitta is the actual experience, the state of mind motivated to benefit all sentient beings. So bodhicitta is the extraordinary, special mind that altruistically wishes and ventures to liberate all living beings from suffering. And leads them step by step to enlightenment. And this arises, bodhicitta arises directly from that sixth step, the pure superior intention. And there are two levels of bodhicitta. There is wishing bodhicitta, and there is engaging or venturing bodhicitta. So if we can bring our mind to the focus of bodhicitta constantly, recollecting the definition of bodhicitta, the benefits of bodhicitta, and practicing bodhicitta for all sentient beings, then our practice becomes stronger and stronger. We attain enlightenment. So we'll have a look now, just to finish the session for today. We'll look at the 6 perfections of the Bodhisattvas: generosity, ethics, patience, joyous effort, and concentration, and wisdom. So firstly, the perfection of generosity. So all these, the 6 perfections of the Bodhisattvas are all practice generated with bodhicitta motivation. So the first one is generosity. So all acts of giving to benefit all living beings so that they quickly attain enlightenment. And there are 4 great generosities: generosity of great love, just the mind of love for all sentient beings, giving beings happiness. There's the generosity of Dharma. So just in simple ways, just teaching beings ways and means to avoid suffering, causes of happiness. There's the generosity of material things, giving people things that they require. And generosity of fearlessness or protection. So rescuing beings from harmful situations, or protecting beings in any difficult situation, nursing beings. So these are the perfection of generosity. The second perfection is ethics, so pure morality. Pure ethics, to refrain from killing, stealing, lying, sexual misconduct, and intoxication. The third is the perfection of patience. Having a very strong and stable mind, patiently accepting. Disregarding all harms. The fourth perfection is joyous effort or perseverance. Joyously practicing, engaging in all of these bodhisattva deeds to benefit all living beings without exception. So one's joyous practice, Dharma practice, to benefit all beings. And the fifth perfection is perfection of concentration or meditative stabilization. So that is placing the mind on one object and not moving. And we'll go into this next week. And the final perfection is wisdom. The direct perception, the true nature of conventional reality and ultimate reality, and combined with concentration to focus single-pointedly. So we'll look at those two next week. And then finally, we'll just, each of these 6 perfections of the Bodhisattvas has 3 supreme qualities. The first is that supreme reliance is that each of the perfections is the motivation of pure bodhicitta. So pure bodhicitta in generosity, ethics, patience, joyous effort, concentration and wisdom. The second supreme quality is supreme method. It is the realization or the awareness of the 3 empties, which we can look at next week in the perfection of wisdom. The 3 empties are that the subject, that neither the subject nor the object nor the action itself exist independently. They are interdependent, dependent arisings. And the third supreme quality of the 6 perfections is supreme dedication. So in all of these perfections, these activities of the Bodhisattva actions, each is dedicated to the attainment of enlightenment for oneself and all numberless other sentient beings. So we'll spend a few moments, we'll just go over what we've gone through today, just quickly, in case you've forgotten most of it. The bodhicitta. Bodhicitta means for the sake of others, wishing to attain complete, perfect enlightenment. So make bodhicitta your core practice. And the 10 benefits are that you enter the only gateway to the Mahayana, the great vehicle. You become a child of the Buddhas. You surpass those who have attained individual nirvana liberation. You become an object of offering and prostration for gods and humans. You accumulate vast amounts of merit. Negativities are purified. All your wishes are fulfilled. Become immune to the harms of hindrances. Quickly accomplish the paths and grounds. And you become a source of peace and happiness for all living beings. So constantly generate the aspiration to attain enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. Memorize the definition of bodhicitta for the sake of others wishing to attain complete, perfect enlightenment. So we'll finish up now, I think. Just bring the mind back to the breath. Just observing the breath, the air coming in and going out. Just relax where you are. And we'll dedicate the merit, positive energy from our practice thinking, by this virtue, may all beings complete the collections of wisdom and merit and attain the two holy bodies arisen from wisdom and merit. May the precious superior mind of enlightenment be generated, and those who have not yet generated it, and not decrease in those who have developed it, but increase continuously. So thank you very much for watching, listening, thinking, meditating. Have a peaceful week. Take care. Look after yourselves. Look after all sentient beings. And hopefully we'll see you next weekend. Same time, same place. Thank you.